Welcome to the most unbiased, unfiltered podcast around. Welcome to the Bulls Guys podcast. I'm your host, Kenyatta Wright, KDub, and here's my co-host, Kataka.
What's going on, Bulls family?
This is Pride Night, Kataka. That's what I'm calling tonight. The Bulls earned their pride back. We're going to get into this game. Big win again over the Boston Celtics. Blowout, 120-102. We're going to dive right into this big victory right after this break. The Bulls Guys podcast can now be heard on YouTube. Get all your latest news, debates, rants right here on the Bulls Guys podcast. All right, we're back here on the Bulls Guys podcast. And Kataka, man, a big win, much needed after dropping the game against Cleveland, a big blowout against Cleveland, where the Bulls didn't look like themselves at all. And, then there was a lot of talk in Bulls Nation, doubting this team. Is this team really, better than last year? Are we really a team that are going to go anywhere this year, make the playoffs? Can we compete with Cleveland or any of the better teams in the league? I'm going back and forth with fans on Bullseye that's doubting the Chicago Bulls, and I'm defending the Bulls. Honestly, saying this team could beat anybody they want when they show up, and they proved it tonight against a Boston team that was undefeated coming into this game, 2-0, didn't experience a loss, or 3-0, I believe, didn't experience a loss before tonight. And the Bulls and it's crazy because the Bulls were down in this game 34-15. At one point in the first quarter. Tatum was already sitting in the first quarter, and the Celtics didn't even need Tatum on the floor, and the Bulls just turned it on in that fourth quarter with that 35-15 run, Kataka.
Yeah, that was a 30-point swing, man, and once again, you bring in those energy guys, you know what I'm saying, and turn up the heat. Boston fell in love with their jump shots. Yeah, they shot was hitting early, but after a while, as you notice, their shots went hitting, and we took advantage of it. We started running the ball.
And that must have worked in the Bulls' favor, because this seems like when the Bulls really lock in defensively and you have a team that's predominantly a jump shooting team, that kind of plays into the Bulls' hands. The Celtics didn't really attack the basket tonight.
Not at all.
And I felt like that played into the Bulls' favor. And I think the interesting thing about this win, the Bulls have now beaten the two teams that were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
Yes, indeed. So they just proved that they can compete with the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? That first game that they beat Miami wasn't a fluke. Because I admit, I'm saying, hey, Boston, I put on the bullseye. If they don't beat Boston, that just shows that first game was just a fluke. But they went on ahead and proved me wrong. So my apologies, Chicago Bulls. My apologies.
I never doubted this team, Kataka. The only thing I doubt is the coaching. The Bulls seem to be a different team every night, but I always said that this team likes to get out and run. They like to force the tempo, force turnovers, get out in the open floor, and force teams to run with them, defend the perimeter. And when they play their game, like I said, I've really seen this team, any team in the league, that the Bulls can't defeat.
Right.
And I made this statement yesterday, and look, they beat the best team in the Eastern Conference, the Eastern Conference champions tonight, by 18 points after being down by 15 points at one point in this game to them.
Right.
Anybody in the league can be beaten by the Bulls when they come to play Chicago Bulls basketball, and I stand by that statement. Anybody. The only question, can they bring it every night?
Right.
It's not, but we know that they could get it done.
Right. Cleveland game still disappoints me. That Washington game really disappointed me. But hey, to each his own. New game, they won, so I'm happy for them.
The Bulls, let me go into some stats tonight. Jason Tatum had 26 points in this game.
Yep.
8 rebounds, 5 assists. Good game for him. Marcus Smart had 11 points, and Jaylen Brown had 21 points. And for the Bulls, Patrick Williams only had 4 points. He continues to disappoint Kataka. 25 points for DeMar DeRozan, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 defensive rebounds. Yep. And Nikola Vucevic, who was my player of the game with 18 points and 23 rebounds, Kataka.
Dude, that right there, I'm glad that you mentioned that because they fed the ball a lot to Vooch on that small when Boston was playing small ball. I'm glad that once Goran Dragic came in, smart guy, high IQ, they fed Vooch in and he let him feast. You know what I'm saying? So that was key. That was, like you said, that was the key part of the whole game.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, man, when the Bulls come to play their game, and this is how they should play every single night.
Right.
You can't get into the habit of shooting jumpers, playing lazy defense. If this is the Bulls team that we got in the Cleveland game, they would have beat the brakes off Cleveland too. Cleveland ain't nothing special just because they got Donovan Mitchell. Everybody thinks that impresses me. They're still Cleveland until they prove otherwise.
Yep.
Okay, they got Donovan Mitchell. What, you want a cookie for that? It's like people are trying to say that the Bulls can't beat Cleveland after one regular season loss. I was just flabbergasted yesterday in Bullseye Group arguing with this fan, Kataka. They really think the Bulls can't beat Cleveland.
I think that's stupid because, I mean, Zach was just really getting back into his rhythm, you know what I'm saying? But
his first game back.
Right. So it's like we still got them. We still got their number. Come on now.
Now, I ain't going to lie. Their bigs and their size, it is going to be a factor. But I wouldn't say the Bulls can't beat them. Because I think if the Bulls really get out and run the way they want to, I don't think Cleveland can run with the Bulls. Are the Cleveland a full court team? I don't believe they are.
No, they half court because they're too big. Well, besides Mobley, they'll run, but they're not gonna, they're not gonna like.
So Mobley, Kevin Love, and their bigs are gonna be chasing around Ayo, Zach LaVine, and Debo.
Hell no, they're gonna have one. They're gonna have one play like a spot point guard when he come around the corner, come around them picks, and they're gonna try to block. But Kevin Love ain't gonna do nothing but just shoot like he did in that game. Yeah.
I don't think there's many teams that can run with the Bulls in this.
And that's what killed him. So
42 for 87 from the field. The Bulls shot 48% from the field tonight. 10 for 21 from three. They shot 47% from the 3-point line. And I think that probably was one of the difference makers in the game to shoot 47% from three. And then you get they forced 11 Boston turnovers, and they had 29 assists as a team. Boston had 26. Fast break points, the Bulls had 14. Points in the paint, the Bulls had 46 points in the paint. I'm going to give most of that to Vooch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give most of that to Vooch. 18 of that was to Vooch. So, listen, man, got to force the tempo. You know what I mean? Unless Arturas makes a big trade and gets another big man, this is how you're going to have to beat teams. You're going to have to force the tempo. You're going to have to get up on them on the 3-point line, load up on the perimeter, force them to shoot with hands in their faces. This is the first game where I've seen the Bulls really defended the 3-point shot really well. Boston shot 18 for 48 from three, man.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That was key. Yeah, that's key stat. And
there's a team that likes to shoot threes.
Yep.
So
because even when they weren't hitting, they were still trying to shoot threes throughout the whole game.
They were. And then we had some hotheads, the Celtics coach getting ejected. So he was standing out down the referee. Then you had Grant get ejected for arguing a call.
Bumping the ref, yeah.
After he got into that play with Zach, and I thought it was a charge on Zach. I did, but the fact that he was backing up while Zach was still driving, he still was moving. I don't know. It could have went either way,
right?
But I don't think it was a play that to cause him to like blow up the way he did. I thought that was just sour grapes because they getting beat down, and then tempers reveal. He like, okay, I'm going to the showers. This game is over.
Yeah, he pretty much let his emotions because I don't think he would. I think he would still been in the game had he not bumped that female ref. You know what I mean? But you're right. He should have just kept his cool because,
The Bulls got who they have next? The Bulls
They
have
got the Pacers. They got the Pacers in San
and the
Antonio
Sixers.
and the Sixers. Winnable games, all three. Sixers ain't playing well at all. You know what I'm saying? Pacers, they're in the rebuilding. I mean, I really want Miles Turner. And
I want that game on Saturday because I just talked to my homie in Philly and he think we can't beat the Sixers. I think we could beat the Sixers too.
oh yeah, we can beat
They're
the
not
Sixers.
having a good year, man. They don't
Nah,
even look like anything right now.
no, not at all. I don't know what the hell is going on with the Sixers, but I'm not worried about it. But yeah, that's a winnable game. You know, is that in Philly or is that here?
It's in I believe it's in Philly. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I believe so. Hold on. Let me get that for our fans at home that support the channel because they need to know where the game is going to be at. My fans of Bullseye and my fans of the Bulls Guys podcast. It's going to be in Chicago.
Woo! Yeah, we got to win that.
It's going to be in Chicago.
Got to win. And if some tells me, well, I hope Billy Donovan, if he gonna rest Zach on these back-to-backs, have Zach rest on the San Antonio. Don't have Zach rest on that Philly. Don't be ass backwards and have Zach not play on that big game. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be key. You know, if you're gonna rest the brother, rest him on that San Antonio game because that's a gimme.
Well, I think the Bulls could beat the Pacers and the Spurs without Zach LaVine.
Yeah, true.
Now Philly, we need Zach LaVine on the floor.
We need him. Hands
and I think against Philly, they need to push the tempo and run the ball. I don't think Philly could run the ball like they did last year.
No, Embiid is not going. He's not going to run.
They look slower this year, don't they?
They real slow. I was watching them games. All Embiid does is try to bully ball if he got somebody small. Well, even if he has somebody big, he try to do the bully ball and like to flop all the time and try to get those calls. Occasionally, he'll shoot them three, but man, they beatable, man. That dude is not. They are very slow, and Harden is still lazy as hell trying to play some D. So only person is out there running back and forth is Maxey and PJ.
Yeah. Philly is at the bottom of the division right now, 1-3, with a .250 winning percentage right now. They won one game out of 4, so they're 1-3. Joel Embiid is the high man for them, averaging 27 points per game. High sister guys for them is James Harden with 9.3. I think this is a vulnerable Sixers team that the Bulls can beat right now.
Right, and you know what Philly gonna try to do? They're gonna try to do like Boston and try to shoot their way into a rhythm. So Bulls got to take advantage like they did tonight, get them boys and run on them, like you said, just run on the court. You know what I'm saying? So that's the key to the game.
But the Chicago Bulls, man, a big win for them tonight. Now, this is something that I want to see continue. And here's the thing, man, you can't cheat hard work. You know, if you put the work in, you're going to have the results that you want. We beat a really good Celtics team tonight. Seeing the way that they opened up the season and how they beat the Sixers, this is a team that I felt, the Celtics, that can make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. We said that on the last podcast. So this ain't no fluke, and this ain't a bad win. This is a good win against a Celtics team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals last year. So we can say what we want. They're a shooting team. They found something that works for them, Kataka, and they were able to turn that into an NBA Finals run.
Yep.
And they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Yep. I always like Boston, man. Boston's always been one of my teams that's, when it comes to being at the top of the East, because, they're a young team, great coach and great organization, even though they are, racist out there in Boston. But, hey, they got a great organization out there, you know what I'm saying? So I've always liked Boston. And I don't know, they had they moments where they could have took it all away and brought a ship, but they're going to have to do something big around that team. They're going to have to add some more young athletic guys. But I know Horford is up there, so they're going to have to add some more athletic players to go along with him, with Jaylen Brown and Tatum.
I think it's interesting that a team like them, they don't get easy baskets. They get a lot of jump shots and a lot of isolation plays, one-on-one. They don't get easy baskets. They need big men that can attack the rim where they get easy baskets.
I agree.
They can get that, man. I think they'll be a shoo-in to not just make it to the finals, but possibly win it. Because if you go up against Golden State in a rematch, that's one of Golden State's weaknesses is playing against big men. And that's why I felt Robert Williams being in that finals was key last year. That was a competitive finals.
That was very competitive.
A couple scores around the league. Toronto beat Miami 98-90. The 76ers beat the Indiana Pacers 120-106. Orlando lost to the New York Knicks 115-102. The Houston Rockets got the win over the Utah Jazz 114-108. In a thriller, a game that I was watching, Kataka, before we got on this podcast, the Memphis Grizzlies over the Brooklyn Nets 134-124. That was a really good game.
Oh, man. Memphis. Ja. All I can say is Ja.
And listen, I don't know what's going on with the Nets. And Ben Simmons looked just as bad as advertised, Kataka.
He got them P. Will numbers, man.
He scored 7 points tonight and 6 fouls. He fouled out. And the foul out that he got was so stupid. If you go and look at it, Kataka, I'm like, dude, that's how you fouled out. And I'm like, 7 points.
Yeah, man. That I don't know who won that trade, man, because it's like
obviously Philly won it. Because even though James Harden ain't what he used to be, he's still better than Ben Simmons at this point.
That is true. You're right about that.
They killing Ben Simmons over here in Philly on the Philly radio, bro.
I'm not even surprised, brother.
They killing him.
That he gonna follow him. He gonna be out the league. I mean, this dude just just can't get it, man. Can't get right. That's what I need to call him. Can't get right. What's up with Utah, man? They started out hot, man. Laurie over there killing.
Yeah, I'm hearing about Laurie, man.
Shoot, man, we should have kept. I guess it's a system, man. But man, I would love to have Laurie than what we have right now.
I wouldn't. I'm tired of Laurie. Listen, man, Utah's 3-1, man.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, how much Laurie had tonight? Laurie had 14, 6 rebounds for the former Chicago Bull, 1 assist for Laurie Marketing tonight. 0 for 6 from 3, 7 for 19 from the field, Kataka.
Wow, I'm surprised he couldn't hit them threes. So
0 for 6.
For somebody that's a sniper, but for a team that's rebuilding, shoot, not a bad start, man.
6 rebounds. 6 rebounds is kind of good. But Mike Conley. So the Utah Jazz is kind of in rebuild mode, but I don't know. This might be a quick rebuild. I like some of these pieces they got. They got Kelly Olynyk.
Not bad. Not
they
bad.
Still got Mike Conley. They got Rudy Gay coming off the bench. Sexton.
Yeah.
Man, listen, it ain't too bad, but I don't think it's a playoff team. But listen, they got something to build on. I think Mike Conley gonna be out of there. He ain't gonna be part of no building team.
Nah. I'm not surprised. He's probably there just to help out Sexton and big. It's gonna be Sexton's team. I think he signed a big contract soon. They traded him, right? I think he signed a contract extension.
Mike Conley?
No, Sexton.
Oh yeah, Mike Conley need to go to a contender, man.
Well, where would he go?
I don't know, but he need to get the heck out of there. Utah ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so ain't. I mean, that Western Conference. Nope.
Looking at the Chicago Bulls schedule, we'll pull up their schedule coming up. The Bulls got the Pacers on the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see their full schedule. I'm pull up their full schedule. We know they got the Pacers and the Spurs. Got the Pacers and the Spurs. Pacers on Wednesday, and they play Brooklyn. Brooklyn on Tuesday, November 1st. Then they go on to take on the Charlotte Hornets, and they're going to go to Boston this time at Boston. Boston might get us back in that game, Kataka.
Oh, they will. They're going to come with it. They going to remember this ass whooping. they say, we ain't missing no shots at home. Man. They going to come with that ass whooping on.
They're going to come out in the locker room.
They might blow us up, too. We're going to be pissed off on that one.
Then we got Toronto back-to-back on November 6th and November 7th.
We got a lot of back-to-backs, man, this first month. That ain't cool.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think we could win both of those games into Toronto. I don't know about Toronto, man. It's like, man, listen, I always think the Bulls could beat Toronto, especially, DeMar going to always show up against his old team.
Right.
Now, the game I got circled on my calendar is against New Orleans on the 9th, and then we go back and play them on the 16th. And it's crazy because we got 4 days off after we play New Orleans. Then we play Denver on the 13th, and then we play New Orleans again on the 16th at New Orleans.
You see, I'm afraid when the Bulls have more than a day or two off, because for some reason we tend to come out in that second game, after being off for like 3 or 4 days, slacking up and playing like we, ain't played in like 6 months, So I'm a little afraid of that. But Zion Williamson and Ingram got banged up a little bit in the last game. I don't know if they're going to be out any significant time, but I don't know if you peeped that.
Zion Williams what?
Zion Williams he out?
Yeah, I believe he tweaked his ankle or something like that. Yep.
You know how long he's going to be out?
I don't know, but they're trying to be precautionary with it. He might be back by then, though. But out of those 10 games, man, the Bulls could easily go 4-6 because they got some tough games in that stretch.
Yeah. Like I said, I give them 30 days to see what I'm engaged with how they going, how the season gonna be. But yeah,
I got them beating the Pacers. I got them beating the Spurs. I got them beating Philly. I got them beating Brooklyn. Charlotte might be a trap game. Boston is a loss. I don't think we're gonna beat them twice in a row. Toronto back-to-back, we might drop one of those games to Toronto.
True.
Then you got New Orleans and Denver. I think both of those are losses. Denver is going to be on fire this year. Denver's always tough for the Bulls to play against.
Yeah, because Joker and Vooch match up pretty damn good.
Yeah, so listen, man. I'm excited, man. I think after what I've seen tonight, I'm optimistic that the Bulls moving forward can do something this season. Now, if we could get Lonzo Ball back, man, that'll be a real good bonus.
Yeah, any new news on him? And all I know is a couple weeks ago before the season started, just saying that it's a strong possibility.
They said the latest news on him is he had like some couple scar bruises against his bone, and the rehab is coming along great. I seen that report earlier today on Bullseye. So his rehab is coming along great, but it doesn't say when he's going to be back. In my opinion, I don't think he comes back this year. That's just my opinion. I think they take extra precautionary measures on him. If he does come back, it's probably going to be for the playoffs or close to the playoffs. But I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I felt like he should have had that surgery in the summertime.
He should have. If he does come back, like you said, I think playoffs is probably more realistic. But I think they're probably going to gauge by All-Star break and see where he at. But I agree, man. Especially if they can, with barring any injuries, and our guards doing what they're doing right now. Yeah, they ain't gonna rush him back.
I think Ayo had a good night.
Oh yeah, he scored about 20-some points. He did his thing out there. He's starting to develop, man. Fellow Illini like myself, man. I like the fact he ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? He listens. He got that that tutor student mentality. You know what I'm saying? He's finding ways to actually learn from not only coaches but veteran players too. You know what I'm saying? He know when to take a shot, when not to take a shot, and man, his game is elevated, making a name for himself.
22 points tonight, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Man, 9 for 10 from the field. Kataka very proficient. 4 for 4 from 3.
Yeah, I told you. When to shoot a 3, when not to.
He's not taking bad shots, man.
Nope.
Better than DeRozan and even Vooch. Vooch was 7 for 19, and DeRozan was 10 for 17. Levine was 5 for 15.
Yeah,
So
Levine
they
was
can make a
forcing
case
shots.
that Io is the most efficient player on the floor.
Yep. He's learning. He know when to take his shots.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that in this game because last season he was always trying to, shoot threes, getting his shit blocked underneath all the time. He was kind of scared and timid, but man, he's being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He's taking to the hole on cats, being a small. So yeah, he's definitely worked on not only his strength, but he definitely worked on his game all around. And much better than P. Will. And I don't know what they're gonna do with that because I'm just afraid that this small ball gonna bite us in the ass again this season. I mean, it's working now against these big teams, but we still need to address that. And I think they are growing tired of P. Will. The more and more he come in with 3 or 4 points, the more the case is that say, either we're gonna have him in the second lineup, but we're gonna try to see if we can get something for him. But by him playing like hot garbage, man, ain't nobody gonna want him.
I think the Bulls could force the tables on these teams that use their size against them. They can do that, counter that by getting out and running and putting pressure on the other team's big men to foul out or even defend the basket coming at them full force. There's not many teams that I know that can stop the Bulls when they get out and run the way they did tonight. The Bulls are a very athletic young team that can really force the tempo and get out and run and wear a team down in the open court. They have to know that strength, and they have to start forcing teams to play their game. And Stacey King said that tonight. He said good teams know how to utilize matchups and use their strengths against a team.
Right.
The Bulls' strengths for me is their open court, getting out and running.
Yep.
Every time they get out and run, like 9 times out of 10, Kataka, they score. It converts into a basket.
Yep. I agree. And they just, like you said, they got to do that day in and day out. They got to start the gates out running because if you notice a common theme in that Miami game and his Boston game is the fact that they started too slow. And had to work their way to, climb back in. So if they can do that from jump in every single game consistently, ain't no telling how many games, these tough games, are going to win.
And another thing that they did tonight, they really attacked the basket. They had 46 points in the paint tonight. Vooch had 18 of those. So you take away 18 of that. What's that? That's still 28 points going at the rim. They're attacking the rim, Kataka.
Yeah. Yep. And that's good. They need to keep doing it instead of dwelling on the threes.
Now, you had the efficiency from the three-point line was 47%. That's efficient from 3. That's a double whammy. So you're efficient from 3 and you're attacking the rim. It's like, come on, they did everything right, man. Yep. And they forced turnovers. It's like they can beat teams in many ways. The media don't give this team a lot of credit, because I got to admit, instead of trying to be a Bulls homer, we don't play like this every night, Kataka, but we have the potential to be like this every night.
I agree. They got to stop playing the level of their competition. Stop looking at the counter and say, oh, okay, we can win this. Nah, dude, you got to come in and have that 90s Bull mentality. We're going to come in, we're going to beat every damn body, play our game, and force everybody to beat us. You got to have that mentality, man, every game.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap up the show and wrap up this win. And I'm going to give my final word right after this. The Bulls Guys podcast can now be heard and followed on all social media platforms. Follow us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Spotify. Time for the final word. The Chicago Bulls blow out a top team in the East, the reigning Eastern Conference champions. The Bulls, in one game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, look like the world's biggest losers, look like they can't beat anybody, to looking like they can beat the very best. Adversity is needed for growth, and the Bulls have seen adversity in the last 2 games. As the games come, the schedule gets harder. The Bulls shall be tested once again. taking what you've learned from the past can also help you for the future. And as the Bulls move forward, the past lessons will help them gain future success. All right, Kataka. I'll say goodbye to Bulls Nation for the night, man. A huge win. I'm stoked, man. After my 49ers got their butt handed to them this Sunday to the Kansas City Chiefs. Dropped 44 on our field. Man, I was just Kataka. I was nothing short but trying to jump off a ledge, man, after this Sunday's game, man. But
so you're a 49ers fan. My cousin is a huge 49ers. I mean, I'm surprised that my Bears beat another Boston team today, and they actually pulled an upset. So
y'all won that game against New England.
We won that game.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with New England right now, man.
Yeah, the second string quarterback came back in because Mac Jones was hot. He was hot garbage, man. They bring Zappy in. Zappy came in and got them the lead, but Bears game planned on them. So, hey, happy win. Go Bears.
Yeah, I seen myself questioning God, man, like my Bulls struggling and my 49ers. I'm like, God, just give me a break somewhere, man. You don't like the fact that I like sports? Right. I'm like, man, like I can't catch a break with my Niners or my Bulls. I'm like, come on, but the Bulls got it tonight, man, against the top team in the Eastern Conference. I can't ask for more than that. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good night, Bulls fans.